Liberal women all over America are going on a nationwide sex strike to punish men for voting for Trump. This reminds me of what the women did in ancient Greece. They went on a sex strike in order to stop their men from going to war. And I would doubt that this would work because of the fact that if these liberal women are doing this to punish the conservative Trump voters, there's no way they're going to end up with them anyway. But anyway, this is by Michael Snyder. He says, do they actually think that their plan will work? During this election, women overwhelmingly supported Kamala Harris and men overwhelmingly supported Donald Trump. So now some liberal women have decided that it's time for a nationwide sex strike in order to punish men for voting for Trump. And yes, they are quite serious about this. Liberal women have sworn to go on a sex strike over Donald Trump's election win. Mr. Trump went to victory in Tuesday's presidential race that Democrats cast as a referendum on abortion rights and protections for women. So let me get this straight. In order to punish us, these women are going to quit engaging in sexual immorality and start acting like chaste, conservative Christian women. And since they won't be having relations, liberal women won't be having as many abortions either. I think that we can all live with that. The women that are going on strike are taking inspiration from the 4B movement in South Korea. In short, the 4B movement is a vow to swear off men. It's called the 4B movement because in Korea, the 4 tenets each begin with B, which means no, according to a paper published by 2 South Korean researchers at Yonsei University Institute of Humanities. Apparently, there are 4 primary pillars of the 4B movement. Number 1, no marriage, bihon. Advocates believe marriage often limits a woman's independence, as it traditionally assigns her the role of caregiver and homemaker. Number 2, no childbearing, bi chulsan. This principle opposes the societal expectation for women to bear and raise children, arguing that motherhood can trap women in lifelong caregiving roles. Number 3, no dating, bi yanao. The 4B movement views dating as reinforcing male-centered dating norms and pressures that can compromise a woman's autonomy and emotional well-being. 4, no close relationship with men, bi yeonai. The movement encourages women to form supportive, empowered friendships with other women rather than depend on male relationships. Since the 4B movement began, the fertility rate in South Korea has fallen dramatically, and it's now the lowest in the entire industrialized world. In fact, it's been projected that the population of South Korea could be cut in half by the end of the century if current trends continue. So this type of thinking has a dramatic impact on the nation. In addition to South Korea, major sex strikes have been instituted in many other countries around the world in recent years. Sex strikes are a form of protest more widespread than the 4B movement, have taken place in countries around the world, including Colombia, Kenya, Liberia, Italy, the Philippines, South Sudan, and Togo. They also have an ancient pedigree. Aristophanes' comedy, Lysistrata, famously telling how the Athenian women conspired to deny their men sex in order to end the Peloponnesian War, as I said in the beginning. Apparently, many women consider the complete rejection of all men to be a radical form of female empowerment. While the 4B movement may seem radical to some, it emphasizes a message of female empowerment through nonconformity and a rejection of prescribed gender roles. For many women in the U.S. and abroad, it represents a way to prioritize self-determination, foster communities with other women, and question societal norms around marriage and motherhood. Can you imagine what would happen if all men and all women decided to embrace this type of ideology? We would have no marriages, no families, no children, no future. It's literally a suicidal ideology. But right now, a lot of liberal women are absolutely determined to exercise their power any way that they can. On TikTok, large amount of young liberal women are posting videos in which they pledge to be celibate. In one video shared on TikTok, a young woman pledged to go celibate and encourage others to delete dating apps in order to exercise sovereignty over their bodies. As a woman, my bodily autonomy matters, and this is my way to exercise sovereignty over that, she says. So I highly encourage any other women who are single and still care about progressing women's rights and still fighting for our bodily autonomy to do the same. Delete your dating apps, they said. The women who also encourage others to seek out their female friends for comfort if you need somebody to cuddle, and describes the 4B movement, which originated in South Korea, as a point of inspiration. Apparently, the issue of abortion is motivating a lot of these young women to embrace the 4B movement, and some of them are promising to abstain from sex until a new president is elected in 2028. Men will always be against women. Read the caption in one TikTok video of a young woman crying in a car, encouraging women to join the 4B movement. Women are just as capable to be presidents as men. In another video, a woman says that for the next 4 years, I'm going to abstain from sex with men. A separate video was captioned, I think it's time for American women to participate in our own 4B movement. Many of the videos addressed concerns over abortion, which was on the ballot in 10 states and was central to Harris's campaign. So what happens if a Republican is elected in 2028? Will these young women remain celibate until 2032? Personally, I seriously doubt that any of these women were dating Trump voters, so it would not be conservative men that they are hurting. Instead, it will be liberal men that will be losing out on sex, and most of them probably voted for Harris anyway, but that is not stopping these young women from pretending that their newfound celibacy will severely punish their political opponents. As a woman, my bodily autonomy matters, and this is my way to exercise sovereignty over that, one woman said in a video posted on TikTok. So I highly encourage any other women who are still single and still care about progressing women's rights and still fighting for our bodily autonomy to do the same. Delete your dating apps. All I have to say is good luck getting laid, said another TikTok user through mocking laughter, especially in Florida, because me and my girls are participating in the 4B movement. They don't seem to understand that many of us that are conservative are absolutely thrilled that large numbers of single liberal women have decided to stop sleeping around. If we could get the entire country to abstain from sex outside of marriage, that would be wonderful. Of course, that's not going to happen. I just wish that we could get more people to understand that when we do things the right way, we will be blessed. And when we do things the wrong way, we will be cursed. As a nation, we have definitely been under a curse in recent years. So I am all in favor of this nationwide sex strike by liberal women. May it last as long as possible. This is by Michael Snyder on End of the American Dream. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. About the author, Michael Snyder's new book, Why, is available on paperback and for Kindle on Amazon. He's also written 8 other books available on Amazon, including Chaos, End Times, 7-Year Apocalypse, Lost Prophecy of the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, and Living a Life That Really Matters. When you purchase any of Michael's books, you help to support the work that he's doing. You can also get his articles by email as soon as he publishes them by subscribing to his Substack newsletter. Michael has published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, and the Most Important News, and he always freely, happily allows others to republish those articles on their own websites. These are such troubled times and people need hope. John 3:16 tells us about the hope that God has given us through Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. If you have not already done so, we strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior today. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.